So good afternoon to all the subscribers and the new people visiting my channel. It's been a long time. I wanted to come up with a great idea as the one I came today for a subject for my videos. And as you see on the title, today we're gonna talk about ethics and values, but not in the way I've been speaking about them on my channel, in a more general sense, but around a specific industry and a specific type of job position, which is the job position in financial services or in any sort of job related with dealing with clients and finding good investment opportunities, and selling them to the clients or to yourself. That's one of the most important skills, when you know a good investment, sell it to yourself to go into it. And I thought it was an amazing idea to make a video, but around the ethics and the good behavior some people in these industries can have towards their clients. Okay, so I found this video very valuable to myself, that I'm already into this process of investing, and dealing with clients. But at the same time, I understood that this is going to be valuable maybe for the people that are listening to me right now. But because I always like to make something extremely valuable for the subscribers, I promise you that at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about why you should work in finance, why it's one of the greatest industries, and why it might be the best choice for you and for your career path in the future. So I can add more value and not so oriented as what I do and what is good for me, but maybe talking in a way that I can touch the lives of those that might be in a situation where they don't know what to do yet, but when they want to take a decision. Okay, so as many will notice, my videos are very philosophical. I like a lot philosophy, and in some way, we can say I'm a frustrated philosopher. But that in some ways working in finance, right? And trust me, let me finish. This has something to do with what I'm gonna say after. Don't take me wrong. First, that studying philosophy is indeed very useful, not only for some parts of finance, but as for example myself, I'm right now going through college, and after I finish it, I might be able to become a professor officially, with all the licenses. And I think being a frustrated philosopher, it's gonna be a plus, in that career. However, in finance, if we can apply the useful things in philosophy in finance, we can think about the ethics and values applied to the practice of financial services. And that's the video that's the subject of the video I'm gonna introduce you today. Yeah, so let's just dive into it. Okay, so the first ethical behavior I can think when thinking about financial services is understanding why it's so important and why it can make a positive impact in society. Why finances are so important, not only for people but also as a profession and as a career, right? And how the decision of devoting your life to this type of services can have a positive influence in society only if you follow a code of ethics and a code of certain interests that you have. So myself, I had experience of growing in an environment where people had the enormous stupidity of considering finance as a bad profession, as a bad job, or speculators, that type of thing. That type of label was associated with this area of developing professional services, right? And This was, of course, a big mistake because indeed finance has a lot to give in the way doctors give to the society, in the way professors give to society, in the way many other positive careers and jobs give a lot to society. You know, finance doesn't go out of that at all. And the first thing we have to understand in the ethics of finance is that in the name finance, we have a clue of what it's all about. It's about financing, you know. Yes, of course, is a career that's about making money, and about sometimes it's about speculating, sometimes it's about making easy money, but it can all go around the idea of financing, you know. And we have to understand that we live in a world that after World War II finished, develop a capitalistic system, you know, a capitalistic way of organizing societies that's based on currencies. And in the case of the United States, it's very extremely based in currencies and not what the government dictates, like in other countries. But it's completely based on the strength of currencies, and the currencies organize the labor of people. And this was adopted after finishing wars and was encouraged and used a lot as a way of preparing for a potential World War III. You know, currency systems allow humanity, despite of the bad side of this system, allows humanity to have a wide variety of professionals, is what we observed in all the capitalistic communities and countries. We see that they end up developing people who work in a variety of things. We have mechanics, we have doctors, we have so many things that in this life of civilians, you know, they provide services to civilians, but in times of war, of course, these mechanics can repair cars and equipment that breaks. You know, the factories can create weapons, as the doctors can heal, you know, soldiers that were injured, so the war can keep going on, and countries can win the war. So the reality is that we have a capitalistic system, and it's based in currencies. What does this mean? It means that the profession of financial services has much more power than what we think. Because if we allow our societies to have systems based on currencies, with all the bad things that that implies, with all the suffering that it creates, with all the inequalities that it creates, you know, if we allow societies to use that system, means that the industry of finance is more needed than ever, because currency, money, doesn't matter if you made it with a lot of work, or if you made it with, you know, easy operations due to price fluctuations or investments, you know, that help you to make money more easily. It doesn't matter how you made the money is always a boat, you know, it's a boat ballot that guides people about what they will do with their time and what things they will work on, you know. So raising capital, financing things is essential. It's essential in the world of finance, in the world of banks. They play a role of selecting which social causes are the ones that are the most important in this moment, and if they decide to donate, they provide capital to make this happen. If we see it in a completely ethical side, then we can mix it a little bit with ethics and business. You know, the big banks, you know, play a role of helping companies that have new ideas, new projects, or they need to grow faster than they will normally will grow. And when a bank or a company or a finance institution finds a business or idea that they see it's possible to develop it, even generating profits, or it's possible to accelerate their growth, you know, big banks can provide capital for these companies to quickly develop and bring benefits for their employees, create jobs, create more benefits in the world, that help people to live more healthy and better lives, and many other benefits. And all this is supported by banks. If we have more banks and more financial institutions, and more importantly, have these financial institutions in many countries, so they can support many different types of entrepreneurs in many different languages, etc. You know, that will mean that companies will more easily find people willing to finance them. Okay, if there's little banks, only the entrepreneurs with the best ideas and the best capability to solve themselves find the banks to finance them. If we have more banks, if we have more companies that have a lot of money due to good investments, that also decide to become banks and become you know, financiers of people, do financing, you know, these entrepreneurs will have support, and that will have a positive impact. That's in the greedy side, when you support people which will bring people and companies which will bring more profits for the bank, and profits for the country and for themselves and for their clients, etc. Okay, but then in a more social side, if we have more institutions with money, if we have more individuals that accumulate big amounts of capitals thanks to financial services, this means these companies and these individuals might be able to support social causes in their communities, you know, charities that they see convenient and positive for the country, for the environment, for the city. Okay, so in some way, the financial services, especially when they are making huge amounts of money, you know, because they find low risk ways of making high returns, they become instruments to finance very very important and positive causes all around the world. Okay. Okay, so the second thing related with ethics that I can find in finance, and I think that financial advisors can apply, is that the current situation of the financial world, I don't know if I can say sadly, you know, but might be an inconvenient right now. There's a lot of big companies, you know, Vanguard, BlackRock, and other big funds that right now own and manage most of the assets of the world. They've been for decades, you know, trading companies, buying them in their low, selling them in a high price, and exchanging the high price for a low price at another companies, and they repeated this price on and they repeated this process, added to other fees they get from other services they provide, you know, not only for themselves and their company but to clients, that they ended up acquiring most of the stocks, most of the investments in the world, right? And the negative side of this is that if, for example, a charity needs help, you know, or to be more realistic, let's see the world as it is, you know, many charities need help. When they go to Vanguard and they request help, you know, obviously the response they were gonna get from Vanguard or from other funds is that it's not their business to focus on that. Basically, they use their energy and their focus in other activities, and so they cannot help those charities. Okay, and basically, if Vanguard helps charities, they have their own set of charities that they probably selected, or that these charities sold themselves to be the ones that Vanguard helps, and they focus on those charities, right? If they do some type of charitable work. But when all the other charities come up, Vanguard, of course, is going to say, I cannot finance you, I focus on other stuff. So this is what is important about the world of finance and the ethical side of it. Okay, when financial services providers start accepting lower tier clients, you know, clients that don't have huge net worths, but they help people that they're still developing their wealth to attain a big level of wealth. when financial advisors and financial services providers decide to help this type of clients, they can have a positive impact on communities and societies, because when you help individuals instead of helping huge companies, you basically are helping the communities, the charities that are related with this type of individuals, and every type of individual, every family, every big family with a lot of money, as every company, in different countries, they might have a different set of charities they want to help and support in their communities, okay? As they support their employees, the people that live under the roof of their household, they they have their own unique way of helping the world. So when financial services providers help these people to grow their wealth using many different strategies that can be used, many of these strategies, if you're interested, you can you can acquire my book, Value Investing: Unlocking the Secrets of Long-Term Wealth Creation. In that book, I talk about many different strategies that people can use, not only in investing in stocks, or I also put alternatives in real estate, many different ways families can acquire wealth. And the thing is that when financial services providers help these families, they are helping the charities these families help. So that's the conclusion about what I'm saying right now, and why it's so important, is that in some way the ethics of a good financial advisor, if he wants to spend some time in doing this, is that if he has the chance of selecting which clients he works for, he can scan the type of people that are requesting the services, or the type of people he can go out to sell services to, and decide to help those families that this financial advisor feels that they want to have a positive impact in their communities, helping families that aren't only interested in making money, but also in building a legacy, in building, networks of charity and aid and help that they can use to improve the quality of their community, the quality of life, and the quality of services within their communities. And when a financial advisor takes this decision based on these ideas, it's not only ethical and positive, it's also good. It's good for the business, right? Because the idea is to build a brand that represents not only making money, despite that's important, but also having a positive impact, right? And as a last thing to add, of course, if you're a financial advisor and you're a good financial advisor, you have to focus in making money. That's the goal. You have to maximize returns. If you want to work with a high profile of clients, these clients will be interested in working with a guy who has the head well organized and understands what is his job. And of course you have to make high profits and focus on making money, but that doesn't take that you can spend some time selecting the clients you work for. As you also can become an advisor if you decide to do that, if you consider that, that's another additional thing in ethics. You can't allow yourself to become an advisor in too many things if you think that becoming an advisor in too many things will decrease the quality of the main service you provide, which is helping people to make money. Okay, you cannot solve all the problems from the client. You have a specific role, but what I'm saying is that if you have some time, you can also work with the client, having conversations and discussing ways in which they can build a positive legacy, and in which ways they can have a positive impact in their communities, because of course you're going to help him to have much more money than what he needs. Okay, and that's the last thing, right? And financial services, is good to find clients that are not there just to use you, just to make some money, cash out, and live with the money they make. It's good to find those customers that are as ambitious and as oriented as you are, that they want to keep the money in, keep growing the money even when they don't need to make more, so they can have a bigger impact, right? Okay, so get ourselves into the third point of what are ethics and morals within the financial services industry. You know, it's very valuable to, especially because it's so highly paid. It's an industry that's highly paid. It's very valuable to have a person that is not in the business and in the industry because of the money. It's good to have a person, for example, as Warren Buffett, that have intentions to go beyond just making money. As you know, Warren Buffett, one of the biggest donations he made to charity was in 30. He did like $30 billion in donations to charity, even more. But in one single donation, that was like a record. He made $30 billion at the US dollar value of 2005, I think. It had a strong purchase power back then. Right now, a little bit less, but it was a lot of money. So what I'm trying to say here is that in the financial services industry, it's very valuable to be a person who have morals and values, and is not here just to make bank, and just retire young. It's not good. That's not good. And of course, it's not valuable to have a person that's angry at life. Bad things happen to this person. He's pissed. He just wants to make money and forget about everybody, and become a selfish guy. It's not useful to have someone like that. And the ethics and the values in the business, as I told you, go so much around charity. So it's good to understand what's your mission and that you're not there for the money. Okay. And I wanna dive very fast into what I promised you at the end. That is why a person should get into the financial services industry. But before that, allow me just to make a fourth reason about the ethics someone must have, and this is from my personal experience, and is that, for example, I'm being deeply involved in financial services. I'm still a beginner in this, of course, but I had enormous results, very good results. That's why I published the book I mentioned some minutes ago, Value Investing, Unlocking the Secrets of Long-Term Wealth Creation. And after these 2 years, I'm starting to have very valuable experiences right now. I'm not like an amazing guy. I'm not like Warren Buffett, but this might help me to get maybe an entry-level position one day and finance to help me learn even more about financial services. But for example, when I started my first successful investments, I started with a big position on Petróleo Brasileiro, that is an oil producer from Brazil, the biggest one. And back then I bought it for $9.80, I think. The share right now is like at $15-16, plus all the dividends I got, and I got results of over 60% if we combine dividends with the increase in capital, right? All this with zero leverage. Like if I added leverage, probably I could have returns over 100% a year without needing to leverage much more than 2x, even less than 2x. But what I'm trying to share is that right now I'm exiting this position from Petróleo Brasileiro. I would love to keep it, but because I need to trade it for a new position so I can keep having high returns, I have to trade for a new one. And Petróleo Brasileiro was a huge company. Basically, if I were working for a firm back then, I could possibly get $10 million into that investment, if not more. Make $6 million to a company using that investment, that advice, in less than a year. In 11-10 months, I could have offered that return. But right now I'm trading this position for small cap companies, and this is an interesting experience because it's giving me knowledge about how hard it is to get into low cap companies, and how competitors that want to buy these companies can affect the price, the entry price into the investment, right? So this is related with the ethics you must have with a client. I give you an example. Right now, I'm getting into a very small cap company. Means I hardly can get more than 8K, maybe 12K a day into the company without making the price spike, because I have to start buying from people that bid instead of putting a buy order and waiting for someone to take it, right? So if I did the research as I did with this company, that I found this foreign company that's extremely undervalued, and it's extremely cheap. It's been doing well for 6 years, the balance sheet is impeccable, but small cap and it's very cheap. But the thing is that if when I discover this, I can only share it with one client and myself, because if I start offering this investment opportunities to multiple clients, I'm creating competitions within the clients. For example, this company, it's between 30 and 40 cents a share, for example. Okay, so this company is extremely undervalued. So basically, a small client can tell me, I really like your idea. I'm fine buying as many shares as I can, up to 60 cents a share. And maybe at the same time I'm working with a client that has less money to invest, and I already offered him the idea, and this client is buying these shares at maybe 35 cents, a share, putting, a buy order, and just waiting for people to fill the order, and he's buying it very cheap. But if I get this other client in, I create competition. This client says, no, okay, I'm fine buying it at 60 cents a share. So now this client lost access to this cheap investment, not cheap, it's undervalued, it has low price, and now the price is higher, and in some way, maybe I can get a commission from all the money this client gets into the transaction, and I get a benefit because this guy will pay me a commission, because he wants to get much more money into the investment, right? But this is the thing of ethics in the financial services industry. I should not share this investment with many people, because that will create competition and will harm myself or the client I decide to help at the same time, which is benefiting from being able to buy this stock, just putting buy orders and waiting people that's willing to sell to fill those orders. Okay? So in some way, the ethical thing to do in this situation is to keep doing research, maybe find more good companies to invest, and to this second client, try to find a company as good as this one. Maybe will be in another country, in other situation. But I will offer to this other client this second idea I found after doing more research, so this client can have the best price when buying the position, right? So this is why it's so important to have ethics in this industry, and why it's so valuable to find a financial advisor who not only has the integrity of being like that, but has also the skill of communicating you that that he has all these benefits, and that he's not going to betray you. He's going to help you to have the best execution price. At the same time, he's going to advise you, being honest with you, because sometimes this is a last point, is going to be short, like a fifth point of ethics. For example, sometimes you have an amazing investment in stock, an amazing idea, but maybe for the client right now, the best decision he had available is to invest in real estate. Maybe right now he's living in an area, he's having the chance of buying a house extremely cheap, repair it and flip it, for example. And the best idea with his money right now is to buy that house, or to get a mortgage in that house. That's the best idea. So you have to have the ethics of saying to the client, look, I have this amazing investment, but right now you have a better choice doing this with investing in real estate, or maybe investing in your own company. Maybe you're working with a client that has his own company or her own company, and reinvesting earnings instead of reinvesting in the stock you offer is a much better idea. So all these are reasons why ethics are so important in finance. And in the same way, I had been speaking with you about the ethics involved with finance and involved with working in financial services, all the positive impact that can have in the world, and why it's so important, and why it's a profession that is as high as being professor or doctor. Never allow someone to say that being a person that works in finance is lower, or that you're a speculator, or that you are not doing something useful with your life. That's not true. That depends on the financial advisor, and if he decides to develop strategies to become valuable and positive as a doctor or a professor or whatever profession doing something important, firefighter, I don't care, so many professions that do positive stuff, right? Heroes. It's at the end, it's your decision. It's how you do your business, and how positive you decide to make it. Okay, so I promised you at the end of the video, making like a second section that might be more interesting for you. That is why if you still didn't get into finance, you should get into finance. Okay? And the first reason I can give you to help you to take the decision of working in something like this is that the finance is one of the most stable and well-paid professions that can be out there if you learn to do it well. Okay? So, and especially if you have a skill to deal with clients, don't lose them, make people feel safe and relax while investing in your ideas, and if you're capable of learning maybe multiple strategies or just focus in one strategy that is like low risk or no risk at all, that you have like a cushion, that you are making your customers put their money in something that is undervalued, that it gives like a cushion so they never lose money, and they always can keep some degree of liquidity, right? So without being so technical, I will try to make this part of the video more simple. Okay, why you should work in finance? It's one of the best paid professions out there. When an economy is struggling, when an economy is doing wrong, you have like 3 layers, maybe more, of professions. We can put like low skilled workers on the first layer, which are workers that have a weak round to negotiate a high salary, and when the economy is doing bad, this first layer of employees might be struggling to make ends meet and to make a lot of money. Then you have like a second layer of professionals, which can be professors, doctors, guys who have like 15 years of education on them, and have a strong ground to negotiate a high salary. So when economy is doing very bad, not a little bad, these guys can struggle to get highly paid, right? If you see some variable, even if you are a doctor, it's gonna be very difficult to get a high salary. The economy of the United States right now is very good because these guys with 15 years of experience in studying, and practicing, easily they can get a high paid job. They are in position to negotiate that. And what I'm saying is that then you have a third layer that are professions based on results in sales and in financial services. It's very hard that people in financial services don't make a lot of money. So it's very well paid profession. If financial services that are well trained are not making money, that's the sign that the economy is very bad, maybe catastrophic. Because even during tough times, finance people can make money shorting, stocks instead of investing on the long term and finding good companies. But finance is one of the best and paid industries. So that's one of the reasons why it's good to get into it. Even if you start trying to manage people's money and trying to find investments and offering investments to people so they make money, even after that you can get moved to many other positions that are highly paid, within the industry, working in banks, working with clients, not necessarily finding investments, which are very well paid. So it's a very strong and good industry. Okay. A second reason of why you should work in finance is the perks. The perks of working in finance is that you are learning how to manage other people's money. And basically when you learn how to manage other people's money so they don't lose their money, you're also learning how to manage your own savings, your own investments, your own retirement account. You learn how to manage all those things for yourself. So you combine a highly paid career with a skill that after you retire, you know you can retire with your savings and just have fun for a couple years, just work, focus on managing your money wisely, and make money with your portfolio after you finish your career, and that's extremely beneficial. That's a huge perk you get when you work in financial services. And added to that, a third reason, as many professors, doctors are worried when they study, and they evaluate that it's a fulfilling career. It's a fulfilling career. Financial services is a fulfilling career, especially if you find a firm, if you find a group of people who are providing services to a group of clients that you really like, and that you really like what they are doing. Basically, you're helping many people that have good ideas, and they have charitable donations to multiple different areas of the world to make more money, to develop their legacy, and to maybe even grow charities they are having. Maybe they're developing charities as Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation did. You know, and you help them to gain the capital they need to keep doing the good things they do. You know, in the same way, if you end up working in investment banking, or helping companies with loans in other ways, you are helping companies to develop their ideas, create jobs. So it's a very fulfilling career at the same time. There's so many reasons to study it, and at the same time, maybe you are at an entry level position, you can always try to study, develop your skills yourself, so you can start spotting better investments ideas than what you normally do, improving your financial advice, and yeah, that's good. It's like it's one of the best paid industries, and if you are willing to study and improve your skills within it, it's like you increase how much you get paid by the knowledge you acquire. Especially if you resist the temptation of going into risky stuff, if you find like a reliable way of generating returns, you're pretty much done. It's an amazing career. So those are one of the reasons why finance is so good choice. And I hope this last advice I give you right now about why you should work in finance happens to be valuable for you. Maybe you are a person that was like a little bit insecure, you didn't know what to do with your life, which path to take, which first career study, how to find stability in your life maybe, and so I hope this advice was useful for you. And as I told you, I hope the first part of the video also was helpful and really inspire you to be ethical, not only as a finance guy, but being ethical in every aspect of life, right? Being good in every aspect of life. I hope you found it inspiring. And if it didn't persuade you to work in finance, man, I hope it helped you to take the decision of getting yourself and your savings into financial services. You have cheap options, you have expensive options like paying people to help you out, as you have cheap options as doing your own research, maybe following some YouTube channels with people that are more experienced than I and like to talk about investments. And yeah, I hope you found the video valuable. It's going to be 40 minutes of videos, so I'm pretty much going to finish it. And yeah, I hope you like it. Remember to give a like, subscribe to the channel if you love the video. Leave me in the comments if you found it valuable. If you have some feedback to give me, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I made a long video because I have so many things to talk right now. I have more ethical reasons, more ethical ideas to apply to finance, but I don't do it right now. But leave me in the comments if you didn't like the video to be so long, or if you find it valuable and it's good to keep these videos this way. In the same way, you can support the channel buying the merch. You see the merch below. You know, remember, if you find you found the video valuable, you can always be grateful. You know, that merch is very funny. I think you're gonna enjoy it. And yeah, I'm including my book for free to the people who support the channel with buying merch. And yeah, you just send me an email. I'm gonna leave my email below and request the free book in case you became a supporter of the channel. And further on, I'm gonna include a Patreon probably. If you don't see it below, it's because I still didn't create it. That has the idea of receiving help from people interested in supporting the mission I'm starting right here, which is generating free content to help people to educate themselves in finance, maybe get into the financial services industry, you know, inspire themselves to take the decision of get themselves into a high paid career and fulfilling career. And yeah, and basically help them out if they are not working into this, you know, help them to take the decision of investing, of growing, of being responsible with their money, and offering them information for free. You know, that's the advantage YouTube have, and that's why I want to create a patron for this channel, because YouTube is free. You know, it's available for so many people, and I think that's very valuable. So thank you very much. Okay, again, leave a like and subscribe. That's free, and see you soon. Okay, bye bye.